My name is Sandra Chidamanyika Goliath, and I'm the director of this play, the last reading of the Almasi reading series for 2016. A few housekeeping announcements before we start. If you may please switch off your cell phones. We won't be allowing any photography. I hope you don't mind. But I'm sure later on, Zaza will just give you our website address where you'll be free to view any pictures or any recordings from this evening. And if you could all please just minimize movements, just to be courteous to fellow audiences. And with that, oh, yes, if I can please remind you to stick around for the post-performance discussion. We usually have very heated discussions at the end. So please stick around for that. And with that, I present to you Anowa by Amaata Aidu.
Anowa by Amaata Aidu. Prologue. Enter the mouth that eats salt and pepper. Old man enters, followed by old woman. She's wizened, leans on a stick, and her voice is raspy with asthma, and a lifetime of putting her mouth into other people's affairs. She begins her speeches when she's halfway in, and ends them halfway out. Her entries are announced by the thumping of her stick, and whenever she's the last of the two to leave the stage, her exit is marked by a prolonged coughing.
Here in the state of Abura, which must surely be one of the best pieces of land Adumankoma our Creator has given to men, everything happens in moderation. The sun comes out each day, but its heat seldom burns our crops. Rains are good when they fall. If there be some among us that have found a common sauce bowl in which they play a game of dipping with the stranger, who shall complain? Out of one womb can always come a disparate breed, and men will always go where the rumbling hunger in their bowels shall be stilled, and that is where they will stay. Oh, my beloveds, let it not surprise us then that this one and that one depend for their well-being on the presence of the pale stranger in our midst. Coffee was, is, and shall always be one of us. But what shall we say of our child, the unfortunate Anowa? Let us just say Anowa is not a girl to meet every day.
That Anowa is something else. Like all the beautiful maidens in the tales, she has refused to marry any of the sturdy men who have asked for a hand in marriage. No one knows what is wrong with her.
A child of several incarnations, she listens to her own tales, laughs at her own jokes, and follows her own advice.
Some of us think she has just allowed her unusual beauty to cloud her vision of the world.
Beautiful Escorado Ahima, someone's thin thread. A dainty little pot well baked and polished smooth to set in a nobleman's corner.
Badua enters.
Others think that her mother Badua has spoiled her shamefully. But let us ask, why should Anowa carry herself so stiffly? Where is her I want taking her to? Badua should tell her daughter that the sapling breaks with bending that will not grow straight.
Perhaps it was my fault too. But how could she come to any good when her name was always on the lips of every mouth that ate salt and pepper?
She turns round angrily and exits where she had come from. Old men and old women do not show they had been aware of her.
But here's Anowa, and also Kofiako. It is now a little less than 30 years when the lords of our houses signed that piece of paper, the bond of 1844 they call it, binding us to the white men who came from beyond the horizon.
And the gods will surely punish Abena Badua for refusing to let a born priestess dance.
Phase 1. In Yebi. Early evening village noises. Anowa enters, carrying an empty water pot. She stops and looks behind her. Then she overturns the water pot and sits on it. She's wearing her cloth wrapped around her. The upper part of her breasts are visible, and also all of her legs. She is slim and slight of build. During a moment when she is looking at her feet, Kofi Ako enters. He is a tall, broad young man and very good looking. The village noises die down. He is in work clothes and carrying a fish trap and a bundle of bait. He steals quietly up to her and cries, "Hey!" She is startled, but regains her composure immediately. They smile at each other. Just then, a woman comes in, carrying a wooden tray which is filled with farm produce. Close behind her is a man, presumably her husband, also in work clothes, with a gun on his shoulder and a machete under his arm. They pass by Anowa and Kofi Ako and walk on. The woman turns round at every step to stare at the boy and girl who continue looking shyly at each other. Finally, the woman misses a step or kicks against the block of wood. She falls, her tray crashing down. Anowa and Kofi burst into loud, uncontrollable laughter. Assisted by her men, the woman begins to collect her things together. Having got her load back on her head, she disappears, followed by her men. Meanwhile, Anowa and Kofi continue laughing and go on doing so a little while after the lights have been removed from them. The courtyard of Mami Badua and Papa Osam's cottage. Standing in the center is an earthen hearth with tripod cooking pot. There are a couple of small household stools standing around. By the right wall is a lie-in chair which belongs exclusively to Papa Osam. By the chair is a small table. The lower stage here represents a section of a village-side street, from which there's an open entrance into the courtyard. In the background are doors connecting the courtyard to the inner rooms of the house. In the pot, something is cooking, which throughout the scene, Mami Badua will go and stare. By the hearth is a small vessel into which she puts the ladle after each stirring. Badua enters, goes to the hearth, picks up the ladle, and stirs the soup. She's talking loudly to herself.
Any mother would be concerned if her daughter refused to get married 6 years after her puberty. If I do not worry about this, what shall I worry about?
Osam enters.
Besides, a woman is not a stone, but a human being. She grows.
Woman, that does not mean you should break my ears with your complaints.
What did you say, Osam?
I say you complain too much.
He goes to occupy the lie-in chair.
Are you trying to send me insane?
Will that shut you up?
Coffee, Sam!
Yes, my wife.
Badua begins pacing up and down the courtyard with the ladle in her hand.
So, it is nothing at all to you that your child is not married and goes around wild making everyone talk about her?
Which one is your headache? That she's not yet married or that she's wild? You know that I'm a man, and getting daughters married is not one of my duties. Getting them born, but not finding them husbands. And may the ancestral spirits help me. But what man would I order from the heavens to please the difficult eye of my daughter Anowa?
She goes and stirs the soup and this time remembers to put the ladle down. She stands musing by the hearth.
And as for her wildness, what do you want me to say again about that? I've always asked you to apprentice her to a priestess to quieten her down, but... Play children's games with me, my wife. One day you will click your fingers with regret that you did not listen to me.
I have said it, and I will say it again and again and again. I am not going to turn my only daughter into a dancer's priestess.
What is wrong with priestesses?
I don't say there's anything wrong with them.
Did you not consult them over and over again when you could not get a single child from your womb to live beyond one day?
Oh yes, I respect them. I honor them. I fear them. Yes, my husband, I fear them, but my only daughter shall not be a priestess.
They have so much glory and dignity.
But in the end, they are not people. They become too much like the gods they interpret. They counsel with spirits. They read into other men's souls. They swallow dogs' eyes, jump fires, drink goat's blood, sheep's milk, without flinching or vomiting. They do not feel as you or I. They have no shame. I want my child to be a human woman. Marry a man, tend a farm, and be happy to see her peppers and her onions grow. A woman like her should bear children so she can afford to have one or two die. Should she not take her place at meetings amongst the men and women of the clan and sit on my chair when I'm gone? And the captainship in the army, oh, that should not be beyond her when the time is right.
Oh.
But a priestess lives too much in her own and other people's minds, my husband.
My wife, people with better vision than yours or mine have seen that Anowa is not like you or me. And a prophet with a locked mouth is neither a prophet nor a man. Besides, the yam that will burn shall burn, boiled or roasted.
She picks up the ladle but does not stir the pot.
Since you want to sing comfort and songfo,
Mother!
singers and dancers.
Mother,
That is her coming.
Mother!
Oh, yes. Well, let's keep quiet about her affairs then. You know what heart lies in a chest.
Mother!
Where is she?
Mother! 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 Mother!
Why do you-
Osam jumps up and confused. He and Badua keep bumping into each other as each moves without knowing why or where he or she is moving. Badua still has the ladle in her hands.
Why do you keep hitting at me?
Mother!
Sorry, I did not mean to, but you watch your step too.
Father!
And where is she?
Anowa runs in with her empty water pot.
Hey,
Oh, Mother!
why do you frighten me so? And where is the water?
Oh, Father!
What is it?
Father!
Say whatever you've got to say and stop behaving like a child.
Calling us from the street.
What have you got to say that could not wait until you reached here?
Oh, Father!
And look at her. See here. It is time you realize that you are grown up.
Ah, Mother!
And now what is it? Besides, where is the water? I am sure this household will go to bed to count the beans tonight since there's no water to cook with.
Mother! Father, I have met the man I want to marry.
What is she saying?
I say I have found the man I would like to marry.
Eh?
Kofi Ako asked me to marry him and I said I will too.
Light dies on all three and comes on again almost immediately. Osam is sitting in his chair. Anowa hovers around. Badua is sitting by the hearth doing nothing.
Mother, you have been at me a long time to get married. And now that I found someone I like very much.
Anowa, shut up. Shut up. Push your tongue into your mouth and close it. Shut up. Because I never counted Kofi Ako amongst my son-in-law. Anowa. Why Kofi Ako? Of all the mothers that I hear in Nyebi, should I be the one whose daughter would want to marry this fool, this good-for-nothing cassava man, this watery of all watery males, this I am the handsome one with the stick between my teeth at the marketplace, this
Mother!
ah! I say or no, why did you not wait for a day when I was cooking banko and your father drinking palm wine in the marketplace with his friends? When you could have snatched the ladle from my hands and hit me with it and taken your father's wine from his hands and thrown it in his face. Anowa, why did you not wait for a day like that since you want to behave like a girl in the folktales?
Mother, what are you talking about?
And you, Kobi-san, will you not say anything?
Abena Badua, leave me out of this. You know that if I so much as whisper anything to do with Anowa, you and your brothers and uncles will tell me to go and straighten out the lives of my nieces. This is your family drum. Beat it, my wife.
I did not ask for any riddles.
Just remember I was smoking my pipe.
If you had been any other father, you would have known what to do and what not to do.
Perhaps, but that does not mean I would have done anything. The way you used to talk, I thought if Anowa came to tell you she was going to get married to Kweko Ananse or indeed the devil himself, you would spread rich cloth before her to walk on and probably sacrifice an elephant.
And do you not know what this Kofi Ako is like?
What is he like?
My lady, I have not asked you any questions.
How could I know what he is like? Does he not come from the Nsona house? Is not that one of the best houses that is here in Yebi? Has he an ancestor who locked up himself to nakedness, had the unmentionable killed himself or another man?
And if all there is to a young man is that his family has an unspoiled name, then what kind of a man is he? Are he and his wife going to feed on stones when he will not put a blow into a thicket or at least learn a trade?
Anyway, I said long ago that I was removing my mouth from my daughter Anowa's marriage. Did I not say that? She would not allow herself to be married to any man who came to ask for her hand from us and of whom we had approved. Did you not know then that when she chose a man, it might be one of whom we could disapprove?
But why would she want to do a thing like that?
My wife, do remember I'm a man, son of a woman who also had 5 sisters. It is a long time since I gave up trying to understand the human female. Besides, if you think well of it, I'm not the one to decide finally who Anowa is to marry. Hey uncle, your brother is here, is he not? You'd better consult him, because I know your family. They will say I deliberately married Anowa to a fool to despite them.
Ah, father, Kofi Ako is not a fool.
My daughter, please forgive me. I'm sure you know him very well. And it is only by way of speaking. Kwame! Kwame! I thought the boy was around somewhere.
What are you calling him here for?
To go and call us your uncle and your brother.
Could we not have waited until evening or dawn tomorrow?
For what shall we wait for the dawn?
To settle the case.
What case? Who says I want to settle cases? If there is a case to settle, that is between you and your people. It is not everything one chooses to forget, Badua. Certainly, I do remember what happened in connection with Anowa's dancing. That is, if you don't. Did they not say in the end that it was I who had prevented her from going into apprenticeship with the priestess?
Light dies on them and comes in a little later. Anowa is seen dressed in a 2-pieced cloth. She darts in and out with very quick movements. She's packing her belongings into a little basket.
I'm in disgrace. So suck your teeth at me. Other women certainly have happier tales to tell about motherhood. I think I'm an unlucky woman.
Mother, I do not know what is wrong with you.
And how would you know what is wrong with me? Look here, Anowa. Marriage is like a piece of cloth.
I like mine.
And like cloth.
I like mine. It is none of your business.
And like cloth, it passes with wear and tear.
I don't care, Mother. Have I not told you that this is to be my marriage and not yours?
My marriage? Why should it be my daughter who would want to marry that good-for-nothing cassava man?
He is mine and I like him.
If you like him, do like him. The men of his house do not make good husbands. Ask all the women who are married to Nsona men.
You know what you are saying is not true. Indeed, from the beginning of time, Nsona men make the best of husbands.
This does not even worry me. And it should not worry you, Mother.
It is up to you, my mistress, who knows everything. But remember, my lady, when I am too old to move, I shall be sitting by these walls waiting for you to come back with your rags and your nakedness.
You do not have to wait, because we shall not be coming back here to Yebi. Not for a long, long time, Mother. Not for a long, long time.
Of course. If I were you, I wouldn't want to come back with my shame.
You will be surprised to know that I'm going to help him to make something with his life.
Hey, I wish I could turn into a bird and come and stand on the rooftop watching you make something of that husband of yours. What was he able to make of the plantation of palm trees his grandfather gave him? Eh? And the virgin land his uncles gave him? What did he do with that?
Please, Mother, remove your witch mouth from our marriage.
Osam jumps up and from now on hovers between the two, trying to make peace.
Hey, Anowa, what is wrong with you? Are you mad? How can you speak like that to your mother?
But Father, Mother does not treat me like a daughter.
And so you call me a witch? The thing is, I wish I were a witch so that I could protect you from your folly.
I don't need your protection, Mother.
The spirit of my fathers. Anowa, what daughter talks like that to your mother?
But Father, what mother talks to your daughter the way Mother talks to me? And now, Mother, I am going. So take your witchery to eat in the sea.
Hey, Anowa!
Thank you, my daughter.
Badua and Anowa try to jump on each other. Badua attempts to hit Anowa, but Osam quickly intervenes.
What has come over this household? Tell me what has come over this household. And you too, Badua. What has come over you?
You leave me alone, Nasom. Why don't you speak to Anowa? She is your daughter, not I.
Well, she's not mature.
That one makes me laugh. Who is not mature? Has she not been mature enough to divine me out and discover I am a witch? Did she not choose her husband single-handed? And isn't she leaving home to make a better success of her marriage?
Anowa, have you made up your mind to leave?
But father, mother is driving me away.
Who is driving you away?
You!
Oh.
Who does not know here in Yebi that from the day I came to tell you that Kofi and I are getting married, you have been drumming into my ears what a disgrace this marriage is going to be for you. Huh? Didn't you say that your friends are laughing at you? And they're saying very soon I should be wearing your clothes because my husband will never buy me any.
Father, I am leaving this place. She picks up her baskets, put it on her head.
Yes. Go.
I am on my way, mother.
And where is your husband?
I'm going to look for him.
Anowa, stop! Anowa, you must not live in this manner.
Let her go. And may she walk well.
Mother, I shall walk so well that I will not find my feet back here again.
She exits, enter the mouth that eats salt and pepper.
Hey! And what would the children of today want? Hey! What would the children of today have us do? Parenthood was always a very expensive affair. But it seems now there is no man or woman created in nature who is endowed with enough powers to be a mother or father.
Old man enters, passing old woman on the way.
Listen. The days when children obey their elders have run out. If you tell a child to go forward, he'll surely step backwards. And if you ask him to move back a pace, he'll run 10 leagues.
But what makes your heart raise itself in anger? What disturbs you? Huh? Some of us feel the best way to sharpen a knife is not to wet one side only. And neither can you solve a riddle by considering only one end of it. We know too well how difficult children of today are. But who begot them? Is a man a father for sleeping with a woman and making her pregnant? And does bearing a child after 9 months make her a mother? Or is she the best potter who knows her clay and how it breathes?
Are you saying that a good parent will not tell his child what should and what should not be done?
How can I say a thing like that?
And must we lie down and have our children playing jumping games on our bellies if this is what they want?
Oh, no. No one in his rightful mind would say that babies should be free to do what they please. But Abina Badua should have known that Anowa wanted to be something else which she herself had not been. They say from a very small age she had the hot eyes and nimble feet of one born to dance for the gods.
Our ears are breaking with that one. Who had the creator tell Anowa that what she was coming to do with her life here? Huh? And is that why after her, I don't like this, I don't like that, she has gone and married Kofi Hako?
Tell me, what is wrong with that?
Certainly. Some of us thought she had ordered a completely new man from the heavens.
Are people angry because she chose her own husband, or is there something wrong with the boy?
As for Kofi Hako, they say he comes his head too often and stays too long at the tea games.
Who judges a man of name by his humble beginnings?
Don't ask me. And they say Badua does not want him for a son-in-law.
She should thank her God that Anowa had decided to settle down at all. But then, we all talk too much about those two. And yet, this is not the first time since the world began that a man and a woman have decided to go together against the advice of grey-haired crows.
What foolish words. Some people babble as though they borrowed their grey hairs and did not borrow them on their own heads. Badua should have told her daughter that the infant which tries its milk teeth on every bone and stone grows up with nothing to eat dried meat with.
I am certainly a foolish old man, but I think there is no need to behave as though Kofi Ako and Anowa have brought an evil concoction here. Perhaps it is good for them that they have left Yebi to go and try to make their life somewhere else.
Phase 2, on the highway. A dark night, wind, thunder and lightning. Kofi Ako enters. He's carrying a huge load of monkey skins and other hides. He looks exhausted and he is extremely wet from the rain.
Anowa, are you coming? Anowa,
Hey, Anowa.
Anowa enters carrying basket.
Oh, what is wrong with you? Why are you so afraid?
It is a fearful night.
But you do not have to fear so much for me. Why, Kofi? See how your great chest heaves up and down through the folds of your cloth.
You just let it be then. And I can't see there's anything to laugh at. Look at the lightning. Shall we sit here in the thicket?
Yes. Kofi Ako puts his own load down with difficulty. He then helps Anowa to unload hers and sits down immediately.
Hey! You should not have sat down in the mud just like that.
As if it matters. Now sit here and move nearer. Anowa, see how you shiver. And yet my tongue cannot match yours. Oh, I'm strong. Oh, it's not heavy. My body is small, but I'm strong. Hey, Anowa.
But I am strong.
We can see that. You know what? Shivering like this, with all your clothes wet, you look like a chick in a puddle.
And how about you?
Beginning to rummage through her basket as though looking for something.
Do you compare yourself to me? See how big I am.
And this is why we should fear more of you. You are so tall and so broad. You really look like something huge. There is too much of you. Anything can get any part of you. A branch from a falling tree, a broken splinter. Oh, my mouth is at the dung heap. Even lightning. But I'm so little, I can escape things.
I was not born to die in any of these ways you mentioned.
Oh, seasoned priest. How was I born to die?
have
You're
no
so
idea.
afraid of me.
I have no idea about that one. What I know is that if you stay out longer in this weather, you're going to be ill. And I cannot afford to lose you.
Oh, you'll never lose me.
I thank you, Mom.
Anowa fishes out a miserable looking packet of food from the basket.
Are you hungry? Here is what is left of the food. Oh, but it is so wet.
She gives it to him. He clutches hungrily at the bundle.
They are good. How about you?
No, I'm not hungry.
Perhaps you're ill already. This life is not good for a woman. No, not even a woman like you. It is too difficult. It is over 200 miles to the coast, and I wonder how much we have done.
We are near Atandasu. This means we have only about 30 miles or more to do.
Is that it? Do you know how many days we have been walking?
No, I've not been counting the days. All I know is that we have been on the highway for about 2 weeks now.
Ghosts of my fathers.
But think of it. If we are not too tired to go a little further, we shall be there tomorrow.
Hey, Anowa, you ought to have been born a man.
Coffee?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you marry another woman? At least she could help us. I could find a good one too. Let me see. There is a girl in one of the villages we go to. What is the name?
Anowa, please don't go on. You know you are annoying me.
Ah, my master, but I don't understand you. You're the only man in this world who has just one wife and so as to keep only her. Perhaps it is your medicine's taboo?
What medicine are you talking about? What taboo?
Ah, Coffee, why has your voice gone fearfully down and so quickly?
But you are saying something about medicines and taboos which I don't understand. Were you not the same person who said we didn't need anything of that kind?
And if I say that, then it means from now on I must not mention medicines and taboos, not even in jest? Coffee, what use do you think there will be to us? Who is interested in harming you or me? Huh? Two lonely people who are only trying something just because the bowels are not as wise as the mind. But like baby orphans who shriek for food even while their mother's body is cold.
Anowa, the man who hates you does not care if you wait in the sun for your clothes to dry before you can go and join the dance.
Who hates us?
My wife! You speak as if we left here with the town singing and dancing our praises. Was not everyone saying something unkind about us? Led by your mother? Anowa, we did not run away from home to go mushroom hunting and fish trapping.
I heard you, my husband. But I do not want us to be caught up in medicines and all those things.
I too have heard you, my wife. Meanwhile, I'm eating all the food.
Set your mouth free. Mine feels as though it could not stand the smell of anything.
Anowa, please, don't be ill.
Nah, My mother has often told me that, except for the normal grabs and fevers, my body has never known real illness.
Ah, but my wife seemed to be extraordinary in more things than one. Anowa,
Yes?
we do need something to protect us. Even though no one dislikes us enough now to want to destroy us, how about when we begin to do well? Shall we not get hosts of enemies then?
But my husband, why should we begin to take to our sickbeds now with illnesses that may affect us in our old age? Kofi, I just don't like the idea of using medicine.
But there are many things we do in life which we do not like, which we even hate. But we only need a head or two.
But a shrine has to be worshipped however small it is. And the kind God angered is 1,000 times more evil than a mean God unknown. To have a little something to eat and a rag on our back is not a matter to approach the gods about.
Maybe you feel confident enough to trust yourself in dealing with all the problems of life. I think I'm different, my wife.
Kofi, that was unkindly said. Because you know that I'm already worried about not seeing signs of a baby yet.
It is quite clear that neither of us knows too much about these things. Perhaps it is too early to worry about such a problem. We can consult a more grown-up person. But I know you would not like us to do anything like that.
Listen to what he's saying. Is it the same thing to ask an older person about a woman's womb as it is to contract medicines in potted portions which would attract good fortune and ward off evil?
I swear by everything that it is the same. And I know, it is too fear for a night to go screaming into the woods.
That is true.
More thunder and lightning. Anowa begins to nod sleepily. Having finished eating, Kofi Ako throws the food wrappers into the woods behind him. Then he notices Anowa nodding.
Anowa, you are very tired. Let me prepare somewhere for you to sleep.
He goes off stage. Meanwhile, the storm continues convulsively. Anowa startled awake by a peal of thunder.
What I'm more worried about are these things.
She gropes towards the baskets and begins to feel the skins.
See how wet they are. Tomorrow they'll be heavier than sheets of rock. And if it continues like this, they will all rot. Creator, do as you like, but please let your sun shine tomorrow so we can dry out these skins. We must stop in the next village to dry them out. Yes, we must stop if the sun comes out.
Kofi Ako entering with a couple of leaves which he spreads out to form some kind of mat.
To do what?
To dry out the skins. They're so wet.
Huh?
The storm has mined the whole cornfield. Every stalk is down.
Come on, Noah. You're dreaming. Come to sleep.
He carries her to the leafy bed.
Yes, Anowa. Sleep well. Sleep well and let every cornstalk go down. We shall not return to see the ruin. Sometimes I don't understand. Wherever we go, people take you for my sister at first. They say they have never heard of a woman who helped their husband so. Your wife is good, they say. For your sisters are the only women you can force to toil like this for you. They say that however good for licking the back of the hand is, it would never be like your palms. Perhaps if they knew what I'm beginning to know, they would not say so much. And the proverbs do not always describe the reality of the matter. Anowa truly has a few strong ideas, but I know she will settle down. Anowa, I shall be the new man and you the new wife.
Now the storm is raging harder. Thunder roars and lightning occurs more frequently. He stares at her for some time, and then as lights begin to dim, he spreads out his big figure by her. Lights off. When lights come on again, same scene without the leafy bed. The sun is shining and Anowa is spreading out skins from the baskets, while Kofi Ako stands looking on. Then Anowa holds her nose elaborately. Both of them burst out laughing. He moves in to help her.
Our noses are certainly suffering.
And yet what can we do? Without them, where would we stand?
No way indeed.
Looking into one of the baskets and picking it up.
About 2 of them in here are too rotten to do anything with.
Come out of the sun.
He takes the basket from her and places it away from them.
Come, let's sit down in the shed.
Did your friend the doctor tell you what is wrong with me?
Yes.
What did he say?
I should have asked him whether I am to let you know or not.
Oh, I think you can tell me. Because he would not have forgotten to warn you if he thought I should not know.
He says there is nothing wrong with you.
Then why?
Let me finish. He says there is nothing wrong with your womb. But your soul is too restless. You always seem to be looking for things, and that prevents your blood from settling.
Oh,
Anowa, are you unhappy? Do I make you unhappy?
no.
Perhaps this work is too much for you.
No. I think I've always been like that.
Like what?
I don't know. I can't describe it.
Maybe you should stop coming on the road.
No, why?
Why not?
I like this work. I like being on the roads.
My wife, sometimes you talk strangely. I don't see what is so pleasing on these highways. The storms, the wild animals, or the bad men that we often meet.
There are worse things in villages and towns.
Listen to her. Something tells me it might be better if you stayed at home. Indeed, I've been thinking that maybe I should.
My husband, I am listening to you.
You remember you were telling me to marry another woman to help us.
Yes?
I don't want to marry again. Not yet. But I think that perhaps.
Eh?
I think the time has come for us to think of looking for one or two men to help us.
What men?
I hear they're cheap, they're not expensive. And if
My husband. Am I hearing you right? Have we risen so high? Kofi Ako, do not let me hear these words again.
Kofi Ako, do not let me hear these words again. Anowa, do you think I'm your son?
I do not care. We shall not buy men.
Anowa, look here. You're not always going to have it your way. Who are you to tell me what I must do or not do?
Kofi, I am not telling you what you must do or not do. We were two when we left Abby. We have been together all this time, and at the end of these 2 years, we may have not been able to say yet that we are the richest people in the world, but we certainly are not starving.
And so?
Is there any need then to go behaving as though we are richer than we are?
What do you want to say? I'm not buying these men to carry me. They're coming to help us in our work.
We do not need them.
If you do not, I do. Besides, you're only talking like a woman.
And please, how does a woman talk? I had as much a mouth in the idea of the beginning of this trade as you had, and as much head.
And I am getting tired now. You shall not consult a priest. You shall not marry again. We do need medicines. I know. Listen. Now here is something I'm going to do whether you like it or not. I do not even understand why you want to make so much noise about something like this. What is wrong with buying one or two men to help us? They're cheap. Everyone does it. Does everyone not do it? And things would be easier for us. We shall not be alone. Now you have decided to say nothing. Huh? Anowa, who told you that buying men is wrong? You know what? I like you and the way you're different. But Anowa, sometimes you're too different. I know I could not have started without you. But after all, we all know you are a woman and I am the man.
And tell me, when did I enter into a discussion with you about that? I shall not feel happy with slaves around. Kofi, no man made a slave of his friend and came to match himself. It is wrong. It is evil.
Hey, where did you get these ideas from? Who told you all this?
Are there never things which one can think out for oneself?
Yes. So now you are saying I am a fool.
Gods of my fathers!
What shall the gods of your fathers do for you? I know you think you are the wise one of the two of us.
Kofi, are you saying all this just so I will take a knife and go cut my throat?
Am I lying?
What? And when? And how did I give you this idea?
This is the way you have always behaved.
Kofi! Kofi, we should don't quarrel.
No, we should not.
The lights die on them and come up in a little while. It is the courtyard of Badua and Osam's cottage. It is early evening. Village noises. Osam and Badua are having their evening meal. Osam sitting in the lie-in chair his food before him.
I haven't heard the likes of this before. A human being, and a woman too, preferring to remain a stranger in other people's lands?
Sit down. Sit down. Sit down and eat your food. I was telling you, this child of yours, she was never even a child in the way a child must be a child.
And how must a child be a child?
Eh, you are now asking me. I thought this is what you two have known all along. Ah, Nana, I beg you. Maybe that was not well said. But I must say, it has happened before us all, has it not? Walked out of that door, she did. How long ago is that? I've always feared her.
You have always feared her. And is that a good thing to say about your own begotten child? If you fear her, then what do other people do? And if other people fear her, then since a crab never fathers a bird, in their eyes, who are you yourself? After all, what has she done? She only went away with her husband and has not been back since.
And that, you agree with me, is very strange.
Yes, it is strange, but it does not make me say I fear her.
She takes his bowl to the hearth and returns it to him after she has filled it.
But don't other women leave their homes to go and marry? And do they stay away forever? Do they not return with their children to the old homestead to attend funerals, pay death debts, returning for the feeding of their family stools? And Badua, listen here. If they did not do that, what would homes and homes do? Would not the clans break up for lack of people at home? The children of women like Anowa and their children after them never find their ways back. They get lost. For they often do not know the names of their founders of their houses. No, they do not know what to tell you if you ask them for just the names of their clans.
Anowa has not yet had children.
There you are. And is not that too strange? She has not had children. And barrenness is not such a common affliction in your family, is it?
No. They've been saying it for a long time around here that she and her husband sold her bedseat to acquire their wealth.
Of course. Women have mouths to talk with. And indeed they open them. Anyhow, and much of the time what comes out is nothing any real man can take seriously. Still, something tells me that this time she has given them cause.
Oh, Kofi-san!
What have I done? I'm not saying that they're right, but it certainly looks as if she and her husband are too busy making money and have no time to find out and cure what is wrong with their womb.
Perhaps I should go and look for her.
Go and look for her? How? Where? And anyway, who told you she's lost?
She's my child.
And so what? Do you think Anowa will forgive you anymore for that? Please, leave her to live her life.
Why are you always against me where Anowa is concerned?
You've been against me too. Did I not say...
Make her a priestess. Make her a priestess always. Why? Why did everyone want me to put my only child on the dancing ground? Since you want to see possessed women so much, why didn't you ask your sister to apprentice her daughters to oracles?
Don't shout at me, woman. Who comes complaining to me about Anowa? They say that would have been to the good of us all. But now, there she is. And they said she might be wandering, her soul hovering on the outer fringes of life and always searching for something, and I do not know what.
I don't know what you mean by all of this. Who is not searching in life?
I know you have just made up your mind never to understand me.
Besides, that daughter of ours is doing well, I hear. Yes. For someone whose soul is wandering, our daughter is prospering. Have you heard from the blowing winds how their trade with the white man is growing, and how they are buying men and women?
Yes. And also how unhappy she is about those slaves, and how they quarrel from morning till night.
So, I didn't know she was a fool too. She thought it was just enough to be headstrong. Before she walked out that noonday, she should have waited for me to tell her how to marry a man. A good woman does not have a brain or a mouth. And if there's something wrong with their slaves, why don't they sell them?
That is not the problem. They say she just does not like the idea of buying men and women.
Ah, what foolishness! People like her are not content to live life cheap. They always want it cheaper. Which woman in the land would not wish to be in her place?
Anowa is not every woman.
Try. And who does she think she is? A goddess? Let me eat my food.
And can I have some soup?
Yes.
As she gets up again, the lights die on the courtyard. 8 men in a single file carrying skins enter. Kofi Ako follows closely behind them. He is better dressed than before. Anowa's voice is heard calling, "Kofi, Kofi!" He stops. She enters from the same direction, dressed as in the last scene, although the lapse in time represents years. She is still barefooted. She's carrying nothing but a small stick which she plays with as she talks.
What is the matter?
Oh, I just want you to wait for me.
Anowa, you walked faster when you carried loads which were heavier than mine.
Well, you took the load off my head. But don't you complain about my steps. I cannot keep up with you. These days you're always walking with your men.
Is that it? You know what? Let us sit down.
Then, as if he has remembered something, he moves some steps up towards the left and calls,
Boy,
Father,
you can share this among yourselves, can you not?
we can, Father.
Then go and tell your uncle to share it up for you.
Yes, Father.
He goes back to sit by Anowa.
I think we should not come again with them. Yako is very good and honest, and he can manage everything.
Is that so?
I feel so.
Yes.
Why do you say that so sadly?
Did I say that sadly? Maybe I am sad. And how not? I cannot be happy if I'm going to stop working.
But why, Anowa?
Men whom Adomonkoma creates do not stop working. Yes, they do, but only when they are hit by illness or some misfortune, when their bodies have grown impotent with age.
Anowa, the farmer goes home from the farm.
And the fisherman brings his boat and nets to the shore.
And if you know this already, then why?
They return in the morning.
But we have finished doing all that needs to be done by us.
Coffee, one stops wearing a hat only when the hat has fallen off.
Anowa, can one not rest a tired neck?
Are we coming back after some time?
No,
What shall we be doing?
nothing. We shall be resting.
How can a human being rest all the time? I cannot.
I can.
I shall not know what to do with myself each day it breaks.
You will look after the house.
No! I'm going to marry you to a woman who shall do that.
You will not marry me to any woman. I'm not sending you on that errand.
See if I don't. One of those plump mulatto women from Ogwa with a skin as smooth as shea butter and golden like fresh palm onion.
Anowa, stop that.
Stop what?
What are you doing?
What am I doing? Hey, master, let your heart lie cool in your chest.
Haven't I told you several times not to talk to me about marrying other women?
I'm quiet.
And if I marry again, what will become of you?
Nothing that is unheard of. Ask your friends. What becomes of other women whose husbands have one or two or more otherwise besides themselves?
So what you want to be is my mother wife.
Yes. Or your friend. Or your sister. Have we not enough memories to talk about from our working days until we get tired of them and each other? When we shall sit and wait for our skins to fall off our bones?
Your mood is on.
What mood? You're always funny. My nothing is on. It is just that when I throw my eyes into the future, I do not see myself there.
This is because you have no children. Women who have children can always see themselves in the future.
Children. It would be good to have them. But it seems I'm not woman enough. And this is another reason why you ought to marry another woman. So she can bear your children. I'm only a wayfarer. With no belongings. Either here or there.
What? What are you saying? Wayfarer, you? But are you talking about slaves and you? But a wayfarer belongs to other people.
Oh no, not always. One can belong to oneself without belonging to a place. What is the difference between any of your men and me? Except that they are men and I'm a woman? None of us belongs.
You are a strange woman, Anowa. Too strange. You never even show much interest in what the oracle says. But you're not at fault. They all say the same thing. Anowa, what makes you restless? What occupies you?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Anowa, is it true that you should have been a priestess?
Oh, yes? But how would I know? And where did you hear that from?
Don't think about that one then. It doesn't matter. Still, there's too much restlessness in you, which is frightening. I think that maybe you're too lonely with us men around. I have decided to procure 1 or 2 women. Not many. Just 1 or 2. So that you have companionship of your kind.
No, no, no! I don't want them. I don't need them.
But why not?
No, I just don't need them. People can be very unkind. A wayfarer is a traveler. Therefore, to call someone a wayfarer is a painless way of saying he does not belong. That he has no home, no family, no village, no stool of his own, has no feast days, no holidays, no state, no territory.
Shut up. Woman, shut up.
Why? What have I done wrong?
Do you ask me? Yes. What is wrong with you? If you want to go on and get possessed by God, I beg of you, go! So that at least I know that a supernatural being speaks with your lips. I say, Anowa, why must you always bring in this?
What?
About slaves and all such unpleasant affairs.
But they're part of our lives now.
But is it necessary to eat your insides out because of them? Why are you like this? What evil lies in having bonded men? Perhaps, yes, in other lands, among other less kindly people. A meaner race of men, men by other men, which are worse treated than dogs. But here, have you looked around? Yes, the wayfarer here belongs where he is. Consorts freely with free-born nephews and nieces. Eats out of the same vessel and drinks so as well. And those who have the brains are more listened to than the bubbling nobility. They fight in armies, where the valiant and well-proven can become a captain just as quickly as anyone. How many wayfarers do we know who have become patriarchs of houses where they used only to serve?
But in all this, they are of account only when there are no free-born people around. And if they fare well among us, it is not so among all peoples. And even here, who knows what strange happenings go on behind closed doors?
Anowa, where else have you been but here? Why can't you live by what you know, what you see? What do you gain by dreaming up miseries that do not touch you? Just so you can have nightmares?
It seems this is how they created me.
How sad. And yet if I gave you 2 good blows on your cheeks which flashed lightning across your face, all this foolishness would go out of your head. And what is wrong with me? Any man married to her would have by now beaten her to a pulp, a doll. But I can never lay hands on her. I cannot even think of marrying another woman. Oh, it is too difficult to think through anything. All these strange words. Anowa, what is the difference? How is it that you can't feel like everybody else? What is the meaning of all this strangeness? Who were you in the spirit world? I used to like you very much. I wish I could rid you of what ails you, so I could give you peace and give myself some. It is an illness, Anowa. An illness that tends to boil all the good things of the here under the sun. And shamelessly, you rake up the debt of life. You bear our wounds. You're too fond of looking for the common pain and general wrong. Anowa, you are among women, my one and only treasure. Besides you, all the others look pale and shadowless. I have neither the desire nor wish to marry any other, though we all know I can afford dozens more. But please, bring your mind home. Have joy in our overflowing world. Enhance this beauty nature gave you with the best craftsmanship, in cloth and stone. Be happy with that which countless women would give their lives to enjoy for a day. Be happy in being my wife, and maybe you shall have our own children. Be my glorious wife, Anowa. the contented mother of my children.
Lights go out on them and reappear after a little while. Enter the mouth that eats salt and pepper.
My fellow townsmen, have you heard what Kofi and Anowa are doing now? They say he's buying men and women as though they were only each worth a handful of the sands on the shore. Hey, Anowa and Kofi, were those not the same who left Yebi like a pair of unwanted strangers? But peace creates forgetfulness, and money-making is like a god possessing a priest. He never will leave you until he has occupied you, wholly changed the order of your being and seared you through up and down. Then only will he eventually leave you. But nothing of you except an exhausted wreck lying prone wondering who you are. Besides, there must be something unwholesome about making slaves of other men. Something that is against the natural state of man and the purity of his worship of the gods. Those who have observed have remarked that every house is ruined where they take in slaves. As you sit, they grow, and before you know where you are, they are there and you are not. 1 or 2 homes in Abura already show this. They're spilling over with gold and silver, and no one knows the uttermost hedges of their lands. But where are they who are going to sit on these things? Yes, it is frightening. But all at once, girl babies die and the breasts of women in new motherhood run dry.
She is a witch. She is a devil. She is everything that is evil.
Oh,
Who else but that child of Abena Badua?
and what has she done now?
Have you not heard? She thinks the world has not seen the likes other before. I wonder what a woman is to produce a child like Anowa. I am sure such children are not begotten by natural normal processes.
But what?
They issue from cancerous growths, tumors that grow from evil dreams. Yes, and from hard and bony material that tender organs of ordinary human women are too weak to digest.
Are you not sure that you're seeing too much in too little?
What are you saying? Am I wrong? What woman is she who thinks she knows better than her husband in all things?
A good husband would himself want advice from his wife. As the head of the family, a chief, a king, any nobleman has need of an advisor.
But Anowa is too much. She is not against the very man who she selected from so many. She would rather he was poor than prospering. They say she raves hourly against our revered ancestors and sanctions their deeds in high tones. She thinks our forefathers should have waited for her to be born so she could have upbraided them for their misdeeds and shown them what actions of men are virtuous.
I don't know if I can believe all this you say about the pitiful child. But certainly it is not too much to think that the heavens might show something to the children of later day, which was hidden from them of old.
But people of Yebi rejoice, for Kofi Ako has prospered and he is your son. Women of Zona House, they say Kofi Ako can stand on his 2 feet and dress up 50 brides, and without moving a step, dress up 50 more. And where and when did this last happen but in fables and tales of dim antiquity? They say Kofi Ako sits fat like a bullfrog in the swamp. While that's Anowa daily gross thin, her eyes popping out of her head like those of a hungry toad in parched grassland. But she is the one who must not be allowed to step on that threshold here. When was this infant born that would tell us what to do? Huh? Who is she to bring us new rules to live by? It is good she said she was not coming back to Yebi. But if she so much as crosses that stream that lies at the mouth of the reed, we shall show her that little babies only cry for food when hungry, but do not instruct elders on how to tend a farm. Besides, as the sourest yam is better than the sweetest guava, The dumbest man is always better than a woman, or he thinks he is. And so Kofi Ako shall teach Anowa that he is a man.
Old woman exits. Phase 3. The big house at Ogua. A big central hall. The furniture here is either consciously foreign or else opulent. There are beautiful skins lying on the richly carpeted floor. Other articles include a giant sideboard on which are standing huge decanters with or without spirits and big decorative plates. In the central hall is a fireplace, and above it, a picture of Queen Victoria unamused. To the left of the Queen is a picture of Kofi Ako himself, and to the right, a large painting of the crow, the totem bird of the Nsona clan. In the center of the room is a gilded chair with rich-looking cushions, and in front of it, a leopard skin. A group of women enter from the right, dancing with great abandon.
He is coming. Nana is coming. He is coming. The master of the earth is coming. Give way. Oh, give way. For the master of all you see around is coming. Turn your face the jealous. Close your eyes the envious. For he is coming. Nana is coming. Turn your face the jealous. Close your eyes the envious.
They are men and women carrying raw materials, skim, copra, crude rubber, and kegs of palm oil. Controlling the exportation of the last product has made Kofi Ako the richest man, probably of the whole Guinea coast. Other men and women are carrying cheap silks and madras cloth, muskets, hurricane lamps, knives, and enamel ware. Kofi Ako enters, borne by 4 brawny men in some kind of a carrier chair, basket, or a sedan. He is resplendent in brilliant candy or velvet cloth, and he is overflowing with gold jewelry, from the crown on his head to the rings on his toes. He is surrounded by more hailing women and an orchestra of horns and drums. As he passes, he makes the gestures of lordship over the area. The procession goes off. Anowa enters and sits on one side of the chairs in the central hall. She looks aged and forlorn in her old clothes. She is still barefooted. She sits quietly for a while, as though waiting for somebody. Then she stands up and begins to pace around, speaking to herself.
I remember once. I was very young then. Quite young, certainly. Perhaps I was 8 or 10. Perhaps I was 12. My grandmother told me of her travels. She told me of the great places she had been to and the wonderful things she had seen. She told of the sea that is bigger than any river and boils without being hot, of huge houses rising to touch the skies, houses whose foundations are wider than the biggest roads I've ever seen. They contained more rooms than were in all the homes I knew put together. Of the houses, I asked, "Tell me, Nana, who built the houses?" She said, "Why do you want to know?" "The pale men." "Who are the pale men?" I asked. I asked too many questions. "They are the white men." "Who are the white men?" I asked. A child like you should not ask questions. They come from far away beyond the horizon. "Nana, what do they look like?" "Shut up, child. Not like you or me," she said. "But what do they look like, Nana?" I asked. "Shut up, child, or your mouth will twist up one day with questions." "Not like you or me?" "Yes, like you or me, but different." "What do they look like, Nana?" "What devil has entered into you, child?" "As if you or I were peeled off our skins, like a lobster that is boiled or roasted. But it is not good that a child should ask questions." "Nana, why did they build the big houses?" I asked. "I must escape you, child." They say they built the big houses to keep the slaves." "What is a slave, Nana?" "Shut up! It is not good that a child should ask big questions." "A slave is one who is bought and sold. Where did the white men get the slaves?" I asked. "Hey, you frighten me, child. You must be a witch, child." "They got them from the land." Did the men of the land sell other men of the land and women and children to pale men from beyond the horizon who look like you or me, peeled like lobsters boiled or roasted? I don't know, child. You're frightening me, child. I was not there. It was too long ago. No one talks of these things anymore. All good men and women try to forget. They have forgotten. What happened to those who were taken away? Do people hear from them? How are they? Shut up, child. It is too late, child. Hey, sleep well, child. All good men and women try to forget. They have forgotten. That night, I woke up screaming hot, my body burning and sweating from a horrible dream. I dreamt I was a big woman, and from my insides were huge holes out of which poured men, women, and children, and the sea was boiling and steaming, and as it boiled, it threw out many giant lobsters, boiled lobsters, each of whom, as it fell, turned into a man or woman, but keeping its lobster head and claws, and they rushed to where I sat and seized the men and women as they poured out of me, and they tore them apart and dashed them to the ground and stomped on them. And from their huge courtyards, the women crowned my men and children on mountains of stone. But there was never a cry or a murmur, only a bursting as of a ripe tomato or a swollen pod. And everything went on and on and on. I was very ill and I did not recover for weeks. When I told my dream, the women of the house were very frightened. They cried and cried and told me not to mention the dream again. For some time, there was talk of apprenticing me to a priestess. I don't know what came of it. But since then, anytime there's a mention of a slave, I see a woman who is me and a bursting of a ripe tomato or a swollen pod.
Girl enters. She resembles Anowa of a long time ago. She is dressed in a one-piece cloth wrapped around her. She too looks like a wild one, and she is carrying a broom and a duster with which she immediately begins to dust and sweep. Then suddenly she stops and just stands dreamily. Meanwhile, boy enters from upper right and quietly steals behind her and cries, "Hey!" She is startled.
How you frightened me.
Have you just started working in here? And why were you standing there like that?
That is none of your business.
I don't know what is happening in this place. I'm sure there are more people here in Agoa town, yet nothing gets done.
But you...
I what? Is this the hour you were instructed to come and clean the place up?
Well, that is not my fault.
What is your fault? Look at those arms. I wonder what they could do even if you were not lazy. Listen, today is Friday and Father is going to come in here. Hey, and don't stand there staring at me like that.
And anyway, are you the new overseer? Why don't you just leave me alone?
I won't.
Are you?
She raises her arm to hit him and causes one of the decorative plates to fall. It breaks.
God, what is wrong with you? Look at what you have done.
Well, it's broken, isn't it? I wouldn't fuss so much if I were you.
Hey, doesn't anything bother you?
Not much. Certainly not this plate.
She bends down to pick up the pieces. Then she stands up again.
This mistress will not miss it. After all, she has no time these days for things like plates.
You are mad, that's all. I thought she said we should always call a mother and the master father.
Some mother and father, eh?
I don't think I've said anything for you to laugh at.
You're being very unfair. You know I like them both very much. I wish I really was their child, born to them. And as for her too.
What has happened now?
Nothing. Now she flits around like a ghost talking to herself. Is she coming?
No.
Listen, they were saying at the Filshkins that she went and stared at Takoa's baby so hard that the baby's having convulsions.
How?
Takoa is certainly telling everyone that mother is swallowing her baby because she's a witch.
Hey! Don't let me catch you spreading anything of those evil, awful words those women say about mother.
Yes, grandfather.
And you? Where did you hear all these things from?
I said at the kilns. Or are you deaf?
I'm not deaf, but people here in this house talk too much.
It is because of this new affair. And the truth is, she herself talks more about it than anyone else. Whenever she thinks she's alone anyway, she begins, "Oh, my husband, what have I done? What have I done?"
Don't laugh. Have you seen how you yourself will end?
Hey, don't turn wise on me. Good. You should just, since you're keeping me from doing my work.
And are you not a woman too?
And if I am?
I did not say you can now rest.
If I had more money than I knew what to do with, but not a single child, I should be unhappy. If my man refused to talk to me, I should soon start talking to myself. If he would not come to my room or allow me in his, I should pace around all night. And after lulling myself for him, he said to me one day, "Go away," and would not tell me why. I should then die of surprise.
People do not die of surprise.
See if I do not.
What do you think is going to happen now?
Do I know? All I know is that if she goes away, I shall run away.
I shall come with you.
Not if you will be scolding me all the time.
No, I shall not.
And the way she carries on with everyone here.
Playing with us as though we're king's men.
Yes. Perhaps that is why the master wants to send her away.
Maybe. And she certainly is more poorly dressed than some of us.
Yes, that is another thing. Can she do something with herself?
What? What, for instance?
Whoa, does she not see her friends, how they go around? All those new fashionable cabastros and boobas, the sleeves blowing in the wind, the full-pointed shoes and the stockings. Why, if I were her, what would I not do? What would I not have? As much as my eye will fancy and the best of my heart's desires. Gated to sit on for all my work days, velvet for visiting, silk for Sundays.
Anowa enters unnoticed and stands at the door. She looks as she did in the last scene, but wizened now and shabby. She's wearing her old clothes and is barefooted. Her hair is cropped close.
Oh, if I were her and she were me, jewels on my hair, my fingers, my knees, in my ears the dangles, on my wrists the bangles. My sandals will be jeweled, my hair will be dressed, my perfumes will be milled, and my talcums of the best. Oh, on my soups I'll be keen, no fishes to be seen. Oh, for her to be me, so I could be free.
Anowa glides out unseen.
Being a woman, of course, that's all you would think about. Though if I were you and so beautiful, I would not worry. Perhaps father would take you for a wife.
Yeah, that man who is afraid of women.
Hey, listen, it is dangerous talking to you. How can you say a fearful thing like that?
But am I lying? They say,
Shut up!
He hits her on the buttocks, runs away with the girl pursuing him, her broom raised. Anowa re-enters the hall.
You said it right, my child. But the elders gave the ruling before you and even I came. The string of orphan beads might look better on the wrist of the leopard, but it is the antelope which has lost its mother.
Presently, Panyin and Kakra enter. They are about 8 years old. They run in with ostrich feather fans, stand on either side of the gilded chair, and automatically begin fanning the chair. This goes on for some time without Anowa noticing it. When she does, she laughs out dryly.
Poor children. I feel like picking them up and carrying them on my back.
Mother, please, we did not hear you.
It is all right, my children. I was not speaking to you. They are fanning that chair now so that by the time their load enters, the space around it will be cool. I suppose this is one of the nice things Yaako is teaching them to do. War is the childless woman they won. Let someone go and see their mother. Who is she? Where is she sitting while they stand here fanning an empty chair? Let someone go and see how she suffered bearing them. The 9 months dizziness, when food tasted like dung and water like urine. 9 months of unwholesome desires and evil dreams. When the hour of the breaking of the onion, when the space between her life and her death wore thin like a needy woman's hair thread. Oh, the stench of old blood gone hot. Did she go through all that? With the rest at the end postponed, so they will come and find an empty chair? To find an empty chair.
She gets up and listlessly goes to the picture of Queen Victoria and addresses it.
Hey, sister, I hear you are a queen. Maybe in spite of the strange look of you, you are a human woman too, eh? How is it with you over there? Do you sometimes feel like I feel that you should not have been born? Nana, won't you answer me? If you won't answer, take your headache. And I say, you don't have to look at me like that because I've seen your likes before. But I shall not cry. I shall not let him see the tears from my eyes. Someone should have taught me how to grow up to be a woman. I hear in other lands a woman is nothing. And they let her know this from the day of her birth. But here, oh spirit of my mother, they let a girl grow up as she pleases until she's married. And then she's like any woman anyhow. In order for a man to be a man, she must not think, she must not talk. Oh, why didn't someone teach me how to grow up to be a woman? Hey, Kakra, Panin, stop fanning that chick.
But please, mother, Yako said...
I say, stop fanning that chair, Panin. Go and tell Yako that I've asked you to stop fanning that chair.
They put their fence on one of the stools and Panhin goes out. Anowa puts her arms around Kakra and moves down with him. When she sits down, he sits on a rug by her.
Kakra,
Mother,
where do you and Panhin come from?
the house in Tantri. Mother,
No, I meant before that.
mother, I don't know.
Kakra, am I growing old?
Mother, I don't know.
No, you don't know. Go and play with your friends, child.
Kakra leaves. Kofi Ako enters on the arm of Boy. He is bedecked as in the last scene. Anowa stares contemptuously at the two of them. Boy leads him to the chair and places him in it.
Father, shall I go and fetch Nana the priest?
Not yet. I shall call you and send you with a message for him.
Yes, Father.
I was told that you wanted to speak to me.
All I want to say, Anowa, is that I do not like seeing you walking around the house like this.
You don't like seeing me walk around the house like what?
Please stop asking annoying questions.
Don't shout. After all, it is you who are anxious that the slaves should not hear us. What I don't understand, Kofi, is why you want to have so many things your way.
And I don't think there's a single woman in this land who speaks to her husband the way you do to me. Why are you like this, Anowa? Why? Can't you be like other normal women? Other normal people?
I still don't know what you mean by normal. Is it abnormal to want to continue to work?
Yes. If there is no need to.
But my husband, is there a time when there is no need for a human being to work? After all, our elders said that one never stops wearing hats on a head which still stands on its shoulders.
I do not see the reason why I should go walking through the streets, climbing mountains and crossing rivers to buy skins when I have bought slaves to do just that for me.
And so we come back to where we have been for a long time now. My husband, we do not have to put the strength of our bodies into others. We should not have bought the slaves.
But we needed them to do the work for us.
Anowa begins to pace up and down and from side to side.
Yes, though other people are horses. And now look at us. Huh? We do nothing from the crowing of the cock to the setting of the sun. I wander around like a ghost and you sit washed and oiled like a bride on a show or a god being celebrated. Is this what we left here before? Huh? My husband, where did our young lad...
Stop it! Anowa, stop it. What is the meaning of all this strange talk? If you feel old, that is your own affair. I feel perfectly young.
Do you?
Yes, I do. And you stop creeping around the house the way you do. Like some beggar, making yourself a laughing stock. Can't you do anything to yourself? After all, you are my wife.
Am I your wife? What is there to prove it?
I don't understand you.
Don't you? I am asking you what I do or what there is about me that shows I am your wife. I do not think putting on fine clothes is enough.
Are you referring to the fact that we have not had children?
An adopted child is always an adopted child, and a slave child is slave. Perhaps I am the one who's barren. But you deserve a son. So, Kofi, I shall get you a wife. One of those plump mulatto women of...
Anowa, stop that.
Besides, such women are more civilized than I, who only come from here. They, like you, have learned the ways of the white people. And a woman like that may be attractive enough to be allowed into your bed.
Anowa, stop that. Stop it. Stop it.
Stop what? Stop what? And what did the priest say the last time he was here?
What do you mean? What is that to do with you?
Too much. I know all this has something to do with what he's been telling you.
You speak as if your head is not there.
What did the divination say about me?
I don't know. And anyway, listen. I thought you were just as good at this sort of thing as he is. You should know, should you not? Why don't you just go and wash your mouth so you can be a priestess at last? I can't stand any more of your strange ways.
What are you talking about?
Oh, what am I talking about?
Yes, what are you talking about?
Please, just leave me alone. Oh God. Noah, did you have to destroy me too? What does someone like you want from life? Anowa, did you make me just to destroy me?
Kofi, what are you saying?
Noah. Oh, Noah.
So what did the priest say the last time he was here?
That has nothing to do with you.
I think it has. Too much. I feel deep inside me that all this business about me leaving you has something to do with what he told you last week.
What mad talk?
What did the priest divination say about me?
Please stop walking up and down. It irritates me.
Why are you sending me away from you?
Just leave me alone.
What have I done wrong?
Nothing.
Is it because I did not give you children? Do you want to take a new wife who would not like to see me around?
Anowa, why do you like to go on asking questions to which you know I cannot give you answers?
But they're not foolish questions.
In fact, I thought you would be glad to get away. I don't know what you want from life. And even if I knew, I'm not sure it would have been in my power to give it. And you can't give me the only thing I want from you, a child. Let us part, Anowa.
But going away is one thing, being sent away is another.
And by that you mean, as always, that you have a right to do what you like. And I, as always, am to sit by and watch.
Because of my fathers. Is there nothing I can say which cannot be twisted around my own neck to choke me? Huh? Did the priest say, what is there about me which he thinks will not bring you blessings now? Huh? I must have done something wrong. I must have done something. I'm not a child. Kofi, I know they say a man whose wife is constantly sleeping with other men does not prosper. Did the priest say I'm doing something like that? Or anything as evil as that?
Just go away and leave me alone, woman.
You're not my husband. Because I have nowhere to go. I swore I would not go back to him. And I can still live here, can't I? I would not disturb you. I can stay in my part of the house. Just don't send me away. We have not seen each other's beds for far too long for it to matter if we don't anymore. Oh. Is it a death you are dying? We are dying. Listen, my husband. Did the priest say you're dying? I am dying. We are dying?
You are mad, and I am very alive.
Boy!
Why are you calling him?
It has nothing to do with you.
Mother, I'm here.
Boy, I am going to ask you a question. Boy, you know that your master says that I must go away from here and never come back. My feet are already on the road, and if it were not that he has not yet told me what he has found wrong with me, or what I have done wrong, I would already be gone. Boy, do you know why?
No, mother.
Boy, have you heard of a man who seeks to divorce his wife but will not say why?
Mother, I've never known the custom of this land well.
What about where you came from? Did you hear of such a case before you were taken away?
I do not remember that I did, man.
Boy, thank you. Go call for me as many of the older men and women as are around. Bring everybody on whom your eye falls.
Yes, mother.
Anowa, what are you doing? Why must they know about this? You have never behaved like a child before. Why are you behaving like one now?
I do not know why we must not bring them in. I need their help. And they also come from places where men live, eat, and die. Perhaps one among them who can help me. I am behaving like a child now because I've gained nothing from behaving like a grown-up all my life.
You are mad, Anowa.
Not yet.
Are they to come?
Let them come.
Boy re-enters followed by as many men and women as possible. The last pair is the twins.
Mother, we are here.
I see you. Listen. Has any of you heard of a woman whose husband wanted to divorce her but would not tell her why?
No.
Then please, you may go. No, wait. I would like to send some of you. I'm sending you to the oldest and wisest people on this land. Go and ask them if they've ever heard of a man who sought to divorce his wife and would not tell her why. You, go to the bearded woman of Kwamron. And you, go to the old priest of Nampo. You over there. To Beko. He whom dwarfs abducted and taught the mysteries of the woods. Go quickly and come back today and walk as you have never walked before. Come quickly, for already I hear too many noises in my head, and you must come back before my mind flies and gets lost.
The crowd disperses through all available exits.
I have known this was coming for weeks, and I have feared. An old man said, fear, it is coming. But not, it has come. But for me, it has come. It has brought me no peace. Perhaps. Boy!
Mother, I'm here.
I hear Nana Abakrampehene Kokrongo is here. He and other chiefs are meeting with the governor. Go. Whisper in his ears that he is to come to me. Tell him it is urgent and that he is to pardon us for not going to him ourselves. All shall be explained in time. He is to come without his retinue.
Anowa, what are you doing? What are you doing all this for?
The times are past when our individual actions had to be explained to each other.
Perhaps you are going out of your senses.
That should not mean anything to you.
That is not what concerns me. But you shall not let this out before Nana.
Just sit there and still get me.
You may go away, boy. Forget what your mother told you.
Yes, father.
Who are you to say what you shall allow and what you shall not allow me?
Nana is my friend and not yours.
And that is why I'm asking him to come.
Anowa, you shall not disgrace me before him.
Darkness has overtaken us already. And does it matter if we hit each against the other? Are you not disgracing me before the whole world?
Your strange speeches will not persuade me.
I'm not trying to. It is a long time since my most ordinary words have ceased to have any meaning for me.
I say once more that Nana is the only man in the world I respect and honor.
My good husband, in the old days, how well I knew you. And that is why I want to consult him too.
I should have known you were always that clever.
And certain things have shown that cleverness is not a bad thing.
Everyone said you were a witch. I should have believed them.
Why? Have I choked you on the bone of an infant?
Stop all this show and just leave me alone, I say.
Then I shall ask advice of whom I please.
Anowa, if you do not leave me quietly, but go consulting anybody about this affair, I shall brand you a witch.
No!
And if I do, you know there is more than one person in this world who would believe me.
No. No.
And they will be those who would be prepared to furnish proof.
Coffee? I am not hearing you right.
And then you know what would happen. But that should not make much difference to you, since you don't care to live or behave like everybody else.
Hey! But what have I done?
I just say leave me alone. That's all.
Oh, God of my fathers. What is it? What is it?
I shall have the little house built for you, as I promised, but in Yabi.
But I cannot go and live there.
I will give you half of the trades and half of the slaves if you want them.
I don't want anything from you, Kofi Ako. Take away with you all the jewelry. I say I want nothing.
And you must leave immediately. I myself shall come to Yabi, or send people you can respect to come and explain everything to your family.
No.
I shall ask a few men and women to go with you now and carry your personal belongings.
But
Boy!
Stop!
What?
Unknown to the two, not only boy but several of the slaves, men and women appear.
You cannot send me away like this. Not to Yabi or anywhere. Not before you tell me why. I swore to mother I was not returning. Not ever. No. I'm not in rags. But I do not have children from this marriage. Yes, Kofi. We do not have children, Kofi. We have not got children. And for years now, I have not seen your bed. And Kofi, now I think back to it, you have never been interested in any other woman.
What are you saying?
Kofi,
Anowa?
Kofi, are you dead? Oh, Kofi, is your manhood gone? I mean, you are like a woman. Kofi, there is no hope anymore, is there? Kofi, tell me that is why I must leave you. You have exhausted your masculinity acquiring slaves and wealth. Oh, why didn't you want me to know? You could have told me. Because we were friends. Like brother and sister. You just didn't want me to know? Huh? And the priest said it was my fault. That I ate your manhood up? Why did he say I did it? Out of envy? Did he not tell you that you, perhaps, had conceived it up yourself, acquiring wealth and slaves?
Kofi Ako looks around and sees the peeping eyes. He gestures to Anowa, who doesn't know what is happening, and goes on talking. He makes an attempt to go away and then he sits down again. The slaves disappear.
Now I know. So that is it. My husband is a woman now. He's a corpse. He's dead wood. Ha! At least than dead wood, because at least that sometimes grows mushrooms. Why didn't you want me to know? Hey, Kofi, where are you? Where are you living? Huh? Don't leave. Huh? Let us start from the beginning. No. I shall leave you in peace. Huh? I am leaving, Kofi. I am leaving. I shall leave you in peace.
Kofi exits. She watches his receding back until he disappears. She then shifts her gaze to the gilded chair. She stares at that for some time, after which her eyes just wander in general around the room. Then at some point she begins to address the furniture.
Very soon the messengers will be coming back. Rugs, pictures, you, check, and you, queen. Should I ask of me from you? Tell them I'm gone. Tell them it matters not what the wise ones say. For now, I am wiser than they.
She fixes her eyes on the gilded chair again. Suddenly she jumps a step or two and sits in it and begins to dangle her legs like a child. With a delighted grin on her face, she breaks into a giggle. There's a sudden gunshot off stage, followed by a stillness. As pandemonium breaks out of stage, with women and men shrieking, Anowa begins to giggle again. The light dies slowly on her. Lights come on. The gilded chair is unoccupied. In the background can be heard funeral drums and wailing. A few women led by Badua, who is weeping, troop in and sit down, Badua in the right-hand corner. The women sit around the gilded chair as though it is the funeral bed. A little later, Osam enters to sit facing Badua. All are in deep red mourning. The drum and wailing stops. The lights go dim. The mouth that eats salt and pepper enters.
This is the type of happening which we get stories and legends. Yebi, I wish you Ju. May all the powers that condone be with you. Kofi Ako shoots himself, and Anowa drowns herself. This is too much. Other villages produce great men, men of wealth, men of name. Why should this befall us? What sabut food have we eaten? What unholy ground have we trodden on?
Old man enters.
Oh, Kofi Ako. Some say he lost his manhood because he was not born with much to begin with. That he had been a sickly infant, and there always was only a hollow in him where a man's strength should be. Others say he had consumed it acquiring wealth, or exchanged it for prosperity. But I say that all should be laid on Anowa's doorstep. What man prospers married to a woman like Anowa? Would even a man the great giant have returned his strength first to that witch? They say she always worked as though she could eat 1,000 cows. Let the gods forgive me of speaking ill of the dead. But Anowa ate Kofi up.
There is surely one thing we know how to do very well, and that is assigning blame when things go wrong.
What do you mean? I did not shoot Kofi Ako, did I?
I never said you did.
Was it not that Anowa who made him shoot himself?
Perhaps, and no one goes mad in emptiness unless he has the disease already in his head from the womb. No, it is men who make men mad. Who knows if Anowa would have been a better woman, a better person if we had not been what we are.
Old woman wobbles out.
They used to say here that Anowa behaved as though she were a heroine in a story. Some of us wish she had been happier that her life had not had so much of the unfamiliar human scent in it. She is true to herself. She refused to come back here to Yebi to our gossiping and judgments. Osam and Badua have gone with the others to bring the two bodies home to Yebi. If there is life after death, Anowa's spirit will certainly have something to say about that.
He begins to walk away, while all the lights begin to die. In the approaching darkness, we hear the singer Attention Bane wailing in loneliness.
Sing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot,
to carry me home.
The end.